We believe that for this evidence to be credible, we think that this evidence should be replicable and an evidence-based claim that when announced would be largely not accepted, but largely documented and replicable in the scientific community. We also believe that if this evidence were to be true, it assuages all the philosophical and practical concerns that have plagued the smartest people for centuries, since the dawn of time. We believe that this question, whether God is real, which God is real, is one of the most foundational questions in the human experience. And for our team, we would be focusing on the effects of this motion, on the effects of what happens if the scientist does reveal the truth, and why we think that he should, instead of the ways in which evidence was procured and stuff like that, which is up to another debate. So I wanted to start with the importance of truth in humanity, not as a person but humanity. Humankind uses truth as a way to build foundations, as a way to build knowledge. This is how humankind has progressed, and is the reason why we are so different. Humankind is able to communicate with each other through generations using paper, using word of mouth, using language. And the reason why that is important is because each generation does their own little experiments, and finds not the truth, but a close proximity or the best guess of what the truth would be, and passes the baton on to the next generation. This is how humankind has progressed over centuries. And this is why we say, and even famously Isaac Newton says that, we stand on the shoulders of giants. They found the truth, they found the empirical truth of the world, and passed it on to the next generation. This has allowed us to create robust theories and systems that allow us to create all the modern technologies we have. Technologies not being just our phones or our laptops, technologies being everything we basically see in the modern world: beds, blankets, zippers, everything. And at the same time, not only in the material, but in the ideological sense, it also allows us to build worldviews that can stand the test of time. For example, we have shifted from praying to the sun gods and the moon gods to believing in our own power, or to believing in the Abrahamic faiths. Science has showed us that believing in the sun or gods, sun or moon gods are false, and therefore we wouldn't build our worldviews, our beliefs, on these false narratives and ideologies. And for these beliefs, humans put a lot of emotional importance in. Oftentimes, ideologies, and emotional drivers are the things that do drive individuals and humankind forward. I mean, think communism in China, or even Nazism or fascism in Germany. It was a central ideology that moved the hearts of the people in that time, that shifted and galvanized an entire country for one specific goal. Therefore, if we have false foundations for our ideologies, it causes us to put effort into beliefs, it causes us to put actions into beliefs that are concretely harmful to society, as aforementioned in World War II Germany, right, with Hitler killing 6 million Jews just for his just because of Nazism and its ideologies. Everyone who believed in Nazism was okay and were not only okay but doubled down and experimented on these Jews. Sorry, I'm not saying everyone, I'm saying a lot of people did. And even the common man at that point in time, most at least, wouldn't really bat an eye and would actually support these actions. Another one is 9/11 with Arabian Middle Eastern ideologies that caused the Twin Towers to fall. And let's say that, for example, we this motion is true, and that, the evidence is out, and that the Christian God was alive and is now dead. That would mean that Saddam Hussein's and his followers' religion were false, and the actions that they did to support their own religion, to support their beliefs, were unfounded, and philosophically and spiritually did not help them go to a higher place or push a message for a God that does not exist. This is the reason why we think truth is important. It's because it gives us strong and proper foundations to be able to base our beliefs on, so that we do not become too extremist and radicalist and do actions that align with truth. This is why truth is important. The responsibility of a scientist is to uncover the truth of the world in an objective and replicable manner. This system works because a group of scientists would propose theories into a community. The science community would scrutinize the theory on multiple fronts. If the theory withstands scrutiny, it is considered more robust and would be used in multiple facets of human life. Alright, think Newton's 3 laws of motion, which allowed us to go and to Mars. Fundamentally, science as a whole is to figure out the truth of the world. This allows people to be able to stand on strong foundations, right? And therefore interact with the world in a clearer and grounded manner. Specifically for this scientist, the reason why we think he should give the world this evidence, right, without a biased opinion, but just give the evidence to the world, is because we need to let the world see whether it can stand the test of scrutiny. Our team believes that it can, right? Or we are arguing based on the assumption that it does. And therefore, it will let the world adapt to this new finding. This is not new. This telling to humanity of this revelation to humanity is not new. It had multiple different flavors in the past. The best one I can remember right now is heliocentrism, and how the church was extremely against heliocentrism because it was against church doctrine, and it said that Earth, and it basically disproved a lot of the interpretations of that time. Heliocentrism caused a lot of strife, a lot of harm, and a lot of people died because of heliocentrism, and after heliocentrism was more well known. But humanity adapts. Humanity took the truth, adapted, and said, okay, Now that we have heliocentrism, what do? We are able to go to Mars, able to move forward and become a higher and become a more understood. Sorry, we understand the world a lot better. Which allows us to basically have stronger and stronger ideologies that are which allows us to have ideologies that have stronger evidence, which allows us to have happier and clearer lives. Thank you. This is why we are so proud to propose.